I'm going to a coral show tomorrow where I will be displaying a lot of 3D printed stuff that I design and make, but I'm also going to showcase some of my coral. And in today's video I want to show the preparation for a coral show. What is required to set up a stand with all the frags if you want to participate in the show. Just for reference, this is going to be a KW Coral Show in Kitchener, Ontario, and it's been over 2 years since I participated in a coral show, and I've dusted off this trusty Frag tank that was built for me by JT Acrylics. It still holds water. I've only used it, I think, once at the Niagara Coral Show. And I've been looking at it, and I think now that I've been doing, over 2 years, I've been doing 3D reefing products, I think I can take it to the next level. So I think it's going to be fun to see what we can do to upgrade this particular frag tank. So first, it's actually a pretty nice setup here. So this is an acrylic tank. You've got the section in the back where you put your heater, you will put a pump, and I'll show that in a second. But also there's a whole section here for frags, which I think is awesome. But there are a couple of issues that I find with it. First of all, it doesn't fit all of the frag plugs, the standard frag plugs. I think the holes are a little bit too narrow, which is nice when there's strong flow, but in this particular case, I think I would have preferred something wider. So the regular frag plugs fit in just nice, but if you've got those fancy ones, the hard rock reef ones, these ones do not fit in. So that's one problem. Another problem is that this is not easy to take this plate out. This was designed to be kind of a interchangeable plate system, and I get that, but again, it's not that easy to get this plate out. And also those price tags, I think we can do a lot better than this. So let's see what I can do to improve upon it. So we'll start off by removing the old frag rack, which is right over here. Like I said, this is pretty nice, and I do like how uniform everything looks and slick. But I have this year been working on something called a modular frag rack. So this modular frag rack consists of these little modules, or the frames, and they just put in together. You use certain pins that are compatible with our price tags as well as with the dividers. And then you can just take this pin, plug it in, and the nice thing about it is that it will, because it's modular, it can cover any shape that you want, and you can always add more as you grow. So in this particular case, I think this system here is going to fit exactly 6 of those bad boys, and I'll show you how this is hooked up. But then the nice thing about it is then you've got the actual plates that go on top of every frame. You can actually use a standard egg crate. It's a 9 by 9 cell egg crate, which can hold, let's say, evenly 25 frags. I make these in 5 by 5 as well as 4 by 4, which is right over here. So this is 4 by 4, and I've got a 3 by 3 if somebody wants it. So bigger frags will go in here, smaller frags will, or regular frags will go here. And we're going to start by assembling this. So I've already pre-assembled one section, so there's 4 of them. Just there is usually legs that can easily twist in here, so you can lift it up on any height you want. But in this particular case, because this is a little frag tank and this is only for display, I don't care about any surface underneath, and if anything, I want this to be as low as possible. So no legs are going to go on this particular frag tank. So I've pre-assembled 4 of these already, and we'll just put them in, and I'll show you how easy it is to add a few more sections. So the only thing you have to watch out for is that, for example, in here you've got 2 pins facing this way, so that means that there's 1 pin going to be facing this way, and you've got the 2 on the back and 2 on the back. So here we go. I place 1 of them. I will take another one of these guys. Same thing, find the right combination, which is right here, fits like a glove. So everything is now set up, and now I'm using these pins to just lock it all in place. And here we go. So once this is locked in on all 4 sides, I've got a few extra pins that I'm going to add in here. So these pins also, they're multi-purpose. They first of all add a lot of rigidity to the system, which is awesome, but also you use them to hold the price tags, which I'll be showing in a second. So here we go. You can actually see how sturdy everything is. And imagine that if you've got legs underneath, you know, this thing is not going anywhere. So I'm happy that there's a little bit of space over here. So this is where I can put, let's say, some plating coral or some tracheids or whatever. So basically this is going to be a separate section. But over here you can see it fit very nicely. And now all it takes is for me to place these plates over here. And the nice thing about these plates is, because my Frag system in the farm is all using this modular system, I can just lift this thing up, place it in a bucket or in a container, and then when and you can see it has legs, so that means that I can easily place it on the table as I'm working on it, or if I'm transporting, and then I just place them here and I'm ready for the show. So one more. You can see I'm using one section of 4x4. This is probably where the chalices are gonna go, and maybe larger Montes or Frag spawns, but regular SPS and smaller corals, smaller Montes are gonna go here. So this is the modular Frag rack in action. You can see it's not going anywhere. I can easily lift it up. So before we're going to talk about the equipment, I just want to show you the price tags. So the price tags that I make are quite unique. They are flush with the surface, so it makes it super easy to clean, and they just snap in and out of the egg crate. So you place it here, you snap it, and it's not going anywhere. So doesn't matter the flow, doesn't matter if there's some urchins or snails, it's not going anywhere. Just remember that the egg crate does have two sides to it. There is the wider one and the narrower one. So the price tags are designed to go into the narrower side, and the legs that I also make are designed to snap into the wider section. So, and it's very, very easy to do that. So you just go like this, and again, it's not going anywhere. So this has been kind of why I started this whole business. But what you see here, the modular section, is kind of me taking it to the next level in terms of customization. So the cool thing about the price tags is that, let's say I've got some corals that are $10, and yes, there will be some. I can just snap it into the pin, and now you've got a section for $10. I've got a section, let's say, for $20, which is going to be, say, over here, and you get the gist. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can have dividers. Now, this section here is so small that I don't think it makes sense to deviate up, but if you have got a bigger section, then you will just use these 1/4-inch rods. And I've got different types of dividers. I have dividers that are high, and I have dividers that are low, they're flush. And you can see both on the website, treasurecorals.com. But the way it works is you snap it in, and Basically, this will fit any of the Frag pins over here, so you can actually have little sections, and it's a great way to organize it and just elevate your whole experience in terms of coral presentation. So imagine now you've got the light, you've got the flow, you've got all the beautiful corals, which hopefully we're gonna see in the next video from the coral show. But this is the vision. So, and this is a lot of fun to be doing that. So I don't know yet what I'm gonna be pricing things at, so I'm just gonna keep these two sections here. Maybe let's take $30 and $40. I don't have that many high-end corals, so let's say we're gonna have $30 in this section, and we'll have say $40 somewhere here. All right, so now that we've got the corals, and by the way, so imagine because this can be easily removed, I can have a whole bucket or container of more corals to go. So just take one out, resort it, place it in. Super convenient. So with regards to flow, you are using standard mag, I think this one is Cobalt MJ400 pump. And it's been a while since I've configured it, but I think it's just gonna snap in to here. So there's a little handy hole, and let's just make sure that we don't break anything. There we go. So now the pump, which is sitting here, is going to suck the water, and I don't even remember, I think this is enough water for it. So I think this is kind of how it was configured. So now the water is going to go here. Some will overflow onto this section, get through the heater over on this side, and then it will spit it out over here. Now I will probably add some sort of a power head on one of these corners. Maybe it's going to be a Nero. We'll see what I have laying around. So we've got the pump. The next one is going to be the heater. So I don't remember what's the best heater for this thing. I'm only going to use it for a few hours, so I guess I don't care too much about the heater, and I'll probably take both of them just for redundancy. But I have a 75 watt and a 100 watt, and I think any one of them will do. So why don't I take the bigger one just in case, and as long as I don't overcook my coral, I should be fine. So basically take this heater in the back, and the next thing will be making sure that I can actually measure temperature. And to measure temperature, we are going to use just an infrared thermometer. So it should be pretty easy. I can be doing that fairly regularly. So even if this particular heater is not calibrated properly, as long as I keep an eye on this tank, in a couple of hours, nothing is going to happen. If I'd be leaving this frag tank overnight, which I've done before, I probably would go for a slightly smaller heater, because this is definitely an overkill. So for the lighting, I'm going to go with Ecotech. I have this Gen 5 XR30 blue ready. I had this one as a spare because I run radiance on a lot of my aquariums, and having at least one spare light is very important. So in this case, I also have a spare arm because my lights, the way I have them right now, are suspended. But this particular system is going to be, this system is going to be awesome for a frag tank. And like I said, I will use it later on as a spare on my other system. Let's power this on. So turn the light on and holy smokes. There you have it, folks. We've got the light, we've got the heater, we've got the flow. I will find some sort of a small power head to put on one of the corners here, just so that there's a little bit of a flow. I would say that we're missing the most important piece of equipment here. If you are at a frag show and you are plugging this into an outlet, you need to power this. What if it doesn't have the GFCI breaker? So you want one of these portable GFCI breakers where every piece of equipment is just going to go through this little device. So I'm going to have both light, power head, the pump, and the heater. Everything is going to go through this, so that when you have your hands in the water and everything else, you are not electrocuted. So save yourself and get this off of Amazon. It's only a few bucks, but it's, in my opinion, a very important piece of equipment. Well, there you have it. I think I've got everything ready for prime time. I could improve this setup by maybe changing this Tanzi with a Nero 3, but I don't have one handy. So let's take a quick look at what we've got here now. I've got the light, which is an overkill. It's an XR30 Gen 5 on a RS mount. I have this beautiful tank made out of acrylic. I've upgraded the frag rack to my Modular Revolution frag rack system here. Custom price tags. I've got my infrared gun to handle any type of temperature swings, so I can keep an eye on it. And I've got a heater in the back there. I've got the MaxiJet or Cobalt pump. It's 400, MJ400. I've got the Tanzi power head. I have this fancy sticker, which is gonna glow in the blue light, so it's gonna be pretty awesome. And I also have tweezers, also available on treasurecorals.com. I've got this handy section or container for frags. So if you buy this, you can then use it to get frags from anybody at the coral show. Pretty awesome. I've got gloves, I've got little stickers, I've got these are thank you stickers that I'm just gonna put on the boxes that I give out. I have some containers, sorry, I have a container with plastic bags, and I have more little containers where different frags are gonna go. So smaller frags are gonna go through these containers, bigger frags are gonna go through some sort of a plastic bag venue. And I think this is it. So this is my setup. I think I'm ready to go. I'm very rusty. It's been over 2 years since my last frag swap. So let me know if I've missed anything, and I'll probably do a follow-up after the show and I will say whether I've missed anything. But I am excited and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.